What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Tooth and Tail Championship 2020. We're going to be going over some Premier League matches today. I am Delthius. How's it going, guys? Sorry I missed y'all on Friday night. I was kind of busy with work, and we needed to wait till today to get to some of these Premier matches anyways. So I'm excited, and the event is starting to run to a close here. We're wrapping up in the round matches, and shortly we're going to go into the single elimination tournaments for each of the divisions with the top 8 players, the top 4 from both brackets. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hope everybody's doing well, staying safe during this this trying time, and getting a lot of video games in. Hashtag social distancing. So we've got some good ones today. We're going to go over 4 sets. We're going to start with Blue Coon versus Dizon. We're going to head into Claro versus Tosh, James versus Mochaccino for the third, and the final set will be Araloo versus Jacoby. So yeah, I think we're about ready to get started. Let me just make sure everything is cool on my end. It looks like it is. And we've also got this sweet website, I believe Gustavam Mochaccino put together. So we can keep track of the games here. Looks really cool. I think it looks pretty fresh. I like it. I believe he'll be live updating those as we go along today. So, all right, I think we're about ready to just go ahead and hop into it. Let me make sure to wash your hands. Yeah, man. Absolutely. What's going on, everybody? Good to see y'all. Protocam, Criticat, Sozu, of course, Master Stealth. Hype for Pocket World, by the way. Master Stealth, you said you're streaming. Once a couple more people get in here, man, feel free to advertise that. I think you got a ping last night saying you're going to do a stream and talk a little more about Pocket World. So yeah, man, feel free to advertise that as much as you'd like. All right, guys, let's get going. Game number 1 here. Okay, spawning in the bottom right, we've got Blue Coon, and his opponent to the left, Dizon. Wolf from both players here. I've actually been liking the Wolf a lot. It seems to synergize well with the Chameleons and Falcons, which are, of course, great picks in that Tier 2 slot. So we'll see how that plays out. It's kind of an aggressive meta, so not super sure if we'll get there. I always kind of get a little overhyped about the Tier 3 picks, and a lot of times we don't see that. Dizon thinking about a little bit of a mole rush, but decides against it. Yeah, Blue Coon's rocking some mines here, and meanwhile Dizon's got the Owl, I guess to help transition into that late game if we get there. And kind of a small map. Well, I guess it's about a medium-sized map. A lot of gristmills here on both sides. I like Dizon's position, but at the same time, Blue Coon's got this nice high ground. He's got a little bit of water outside of it, so it might be a little difficult for Dizon to come in and attack here. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. If these guys want to go for some quick expands, maybe some quick cams, maybe a lot of Tier 1 aggression. I think Tier 1 aggression has been pretty viable lately. Josh, man, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you hanging out, man. Alright, so we got an 8 farm double from Blue, and same thing from Dizon, so just a little bit of the delay. You know, the 8 farm double is kind of neat, but it doesn't really tell us much about what the players want to do. You can still kind of transition out of that 8 farm double into really any of the options, you know, quick expand, a lot more Tier 1, some Tier 2. And yeah, right now, both players just building up that Tier 1 force. I wonder if they'll even go up to as many Warrens as like 4 or 5, maybe try some aggression. Keeping an eye on each other, making sure they're not trying to do anything spicy. Good scouting for both sides so far. And we see the Tier 2 from both sides, so mirror builds thus far in the game. Really standard safe opening. Maybe if you're a beginner player and you're not sure of a good build order, this is definitely a nice one to copy. Learning the game. And even a quick mill right there. No, he's just gonna go for more aggression, and I like it. This is this is what I call Tier 1 chicken in a way. You know, you're really hesitant about trying to do anything crazy like get up to a Tier 3 or multiple Tier 2 because you don't want to just get ran over by your opponent here. And this is a lot of tier 1 at this point. Neither player opting for an expansion. So we're going to go into a pretty brutal mid-game here in a moment. You're kind of stuck in this weird spot. Alright, there's the Expo from Dizon. Right around the 3-minute mark. Yeah, you're kind of stuck in a weird spot because if you kind of want to attack out, but at the same time, you know, your opponent will get that defender's advantage, so you need to be careful. Blue Coon trying to do something fancy here with his chameleons, but not sure. He's gonna... nice job by Dizon there, just keeping his eye on the enemy commander, noticing, alright, he's rallying units, let me follow him with my army. Make sure I don't get hit by some chameleons or something. Ooh, look at this. Dizon needs to be careful. His units are out of position, and Blue Coon's coming in with the lizards and the cams and gonna knock out this gristmill for free. That's 120 food down the drain here. Nice play by Blue Coon. So now Blue Coon's got a little bit of an edge in this game. Not a crazy edge. This game's certainly not over, but now Dizon kind of needs to figure out a way to get some value back, or he's just gonna approach this mid-game a little bit of food behind. And Dizon's hoping, alright, maybe we can slow this down. Maybe I can bait Blue Coon into attacking in with my tier 3. Blue Coon does see the tier 3 warren. He knows it's an owl. Curious how he's going to respond. Is he just going to macro up maybe? He knows he's got about 2 minutes, a little less than that, until the owl's here. So he's got some time to put out some farms. The chameleons will do nicely handling those mice and, you know, for the most part, staying alive and not allowing Dizon to get too much value out of that. Even sells the mines. I like that. He doesn't want the mice to detonate the mines. Trade mines for free units. Yeah, 4 chameleons seems okay to deal with just 1 owl's worth of mice. So, really cool decision making here from Blue Coon. And he's kind of posturing like he's going to move in. Meanwhile, that owl is bought and paid for. Dizon just needs a little bit of time. And this is rough because Blue Coon's got the second base. He's got the superior economy, and that's even bigger now that the 5-minute mark is hit. And here we go, a large engagement coming in as Blue Coon is diving in for the kill. He's going to trade very nicely here. Dizon's in a lot of trouble. That owl is just not coming out in time. And this might just be game 1, ladies and gentlemen. I think a little too much damage has been dealt here. Oh no, is he even gonna deny the owl? Yeah, that's, oh, the owl gets out. But all the warrens go away. The owl is all by itself. These mice do help clean up. But I feel like crippling damage has been dealt. And Dizon's going to hold on for dear life, but I think that's about game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Coon with a decisive win there. Okay, let's keep it going into game number 2. Spawning on the left, we've got Blue Coon. And his opponent to the right, Dizon. Same decks. Really different map, though, this time around. Maybe we might see some quick expansions here. And the map, This is a tough one to judge right out the gate. Like, it's kind of awkward for Blue Coon to get a second base. But if Blue Coon takes this area, then he's kind of got nice access to a third if he can hold it. And he also kind of shuts Dizon down and prevents him from getting a third. Or Blue Coon could take this base over here. It's a little bit safer. However, there is a little bit of a sneaky path in between the swamp there for either moles or lizards to come through either way and get something done. But if I spawned onto this map, I'd probably favor a fast expansion. The rush distance seems really large and awkward, so you can probably get away with a little bit of greed. Let's see what these guys want to go for. Oh, is Dizon taking the second? That's what he looks like he wants to do. Yep. Nope. Okay. Nope. Alright. Alright. 8 farm doubles from both sides. No one's being greedy here. I could understand that. Like, with the new moles, it's definitely more punishing. You know, I've lost some matches in the Premier League, or the Intermediate League, certainly, from trying to do things that were maybe viable last patch, like take a tier 2 a little bit fast or a fast base. And if your opponent is really practiced with aggression and you know, has the moles, they can really come in and punish that, since the new moles build a little bit faster nowadays, or the first one comes out immediately, I should say. Cool couple little mines here from Blue Coon. Now, my question is, are both players aware of the back attack path? Doesn't look like Dizon is yet, and Blue Coon is. But look at this, an owl, 8 farm owl. Dizon, signed my mouse pad, bro. But no, Blue Coon has no idea about it, and he's about to go snipe that Warren. Oh, feels bad, man. Look at this. He's just going to run in. He's going to see that tier 3 Warren and kill it immediately. Oof. Poor Dizon. And Dizon wasn't aware of this back path. He's going to get the Warren. He's going to get a couple farms. This is definitely rough. And Dizon knows that is just too much and taps out. Dang. Nice quick game there. Unfortunate for Dizon, but really nice timing there from Blue Coon. It was a little bit lucky on his part, I got to say. You know, he wasn't aware necessarily of that tier 3 Warren when he came in. But he got it done anyways. And that was a nice little aggression, you know, nice little chance to get in there and get something done with the lizards. You know, he knew about the attack path at the very least, so it's the way she goes sometimes. Let's hop into game number 3 here, see if Dizon can take it back in this series. In the bottom left, we've got Blue Coon, and his opponent to the right, Dizon, this time taking the toads, not having this lizard nonsense anymore. Both players with a easy natural. Blue Coon's got this third base. Dizon's isn't crazy either. Dizon's also got a couple campfires, which are nice if you want to do like a prolonged one base strategy. It's great to just pick up those campfires, keep your income going a little bit longer. And another nice little lizard attack path here for Blue Coon into the backside of Dizon's base. Let's see if that comes into play this time around. Yeah, I expect probably 8 farm doubles again from both players. The attack path is large on this map, which is kind of a reason Dizon probably went for that quick tier 3 last time, is the attack path was so long. He could have got away with it if there wasn't that little back route, you know. Dizon with the very fast expansion. I think that's fine. You can go just straight 8 farm into an expansion as long as you follow it up with some tier 1 and you're, you know, scouting appropriately, not just blindly building a bunch of farms. So maybe we're going to have a little bit more of a macro game this time around. Maybe both players are going to kind of try to rush up in farms on that second base, and then get some big, juicy tech armies. Dizon hasn't scouted the natural yet, but Blue Coon has. A few mines here, just to be careful. And this is always a rough spot to be in mentally when you're Dizon, when you're down 0-2 in a best of 5. You know, the sky's the limit for Blue Coon here. He can pull out a crazy strategy. He can kind of do what he pleases. He's got a couple games of wiggle room here. Look at this, Dizon going crazy with the second base farms here. He did scout that Blue Coon took the second, and I like this from Blue Coon. grabbing that quick wolf. He knows it's a macro game. That wolf will help him farm even more productively. Now, is Dizon going to scout the tier 3 is the question. He doesn't see it on this go-around. But Dizon's maybe thinking about turning up the heat here, building a lot of squirrels. Maybe he's going to try to reinforce with a large tier 1 army and push out and try to start putting on the heat a little. Great scouting here from Blue Coon, just really keeping an eye on exactly what his opponent's up to. Doesn't see a whole lot, but does see several tier 1 Warrens. And here's the owl from Dizon. But the wolf is miles ahead. Now the question is, will the wolf just be used defensively to just kind of macro up, you know, make some more money, maybe start financing some tier 2 units? Or is he going to push out and really try to take advantage of that attack speed and movement speed buff on his squirrels and try to get something done? Double owl on the way for Dizon. This is what you want. 1 owl is not so scary. 2 owls is where it gets a little crazy. And if Dizon can just hold on for a little bit, he'll be in an okay spot. But look at this. Blue Coon's got a whole bunch of tier 2 on the way. Now he's got the wolf, which can come over here, buff up these pigs, make them farm faster, and be able to finance those tier 2 more effectively. Third base on the way for blue here. Gonna relocate some mines, maybe spread them out a bit more. I'd love to see some like on this little archipelago here. So many tier 2 coming up. This is really what you can get away with when you've got this wolf over here buffing your farms. And what does Dizon know at this moment? He hasn't actually got a good scout in quite some time, so he's probably not sure 100% what to expect. But here comes blue. He's going to see the double owl. He's going to see the falcons. He knows what's happening. And with the amount of chameleon falcon coming out here from blue, that could probably deal with these owls pretty effectively. You know, Dizon really needs to get up his own camp falcon here to respond. And I think Blue Coon's thinking enough's enough. Starting to position himself for maybe a little aggression. That's a lot of tier 1 here from Dizon, though. 12 toads. And these toads will do great against the chameleons. If all the chameleons are clumped up and they get a good hit. Here we go. Here's the big engagement. The toads come in. Deal some decent damage onto these cams here. Oh my god, this went so well for Dizon. Only the falcons are left over, and falcons are glass cannons. They really need that front line, those toads. Just deleted all the cams here. This is exactly what Dizon needed. We might have a series on our hands here, boys. Trying to really prioritize keeping these owls alive. Everything else is expendable. Of course, it's nice to keep the tier 2 up if you can, but really just want to make sure these owls stay alive. The wolf went down. All the key units of Blue Coon went down. Even the third base went down here. Blue Coon is down, but he's not out. Looks like he wants to finance another wolf. Man, these 2 owls, though. You know, if Blue Coon wants to be a little bit hesitant, Dizon can just sit here and throw mice in over and over and get some value. And Dizon's not messing around. He's going up to 30 squirrels here. And he's just making sure all his T's are crossed and his I's are dotted before he comes in for another big attack. And there's just going to be so much here for our green player. This time around, the falcons are holding a little bit better. Really needs to get those falcons out of the air. With those squirrels, finally get some done. I think Blue Coon's going to tap, and there we go. We got a point up on the board for Dizon here. Heading into game number 4. In the bottom left, we've got Dizon. And his opponent to the top right, Blue Coon. rocking the board this time around. Really interesting, cool tech switch, kind of based on the amount of Tier 1 that Dizon put together last game. And this gives BlueCoon a nice timing that he could try to pull off. You know, he can get to like 2 base, half saturation, throw down the boar, you know, build a couple more farms, mass out a bunch of Tier 1, maybe a Cam or a Falcon if you can afford it, and push in when the flamethrower arrives. This map's got a pretty small rush distance. I think that's an important thing to note. So maybe we won't see that. Maybe we'll see kind of what we saw in game number 1, where both players just build up to huge early game armies. Both sides going to confirm that 8 farm opening. This map's pretty weird, to be honest. It's like, really, this is the map right here, you know? And that definitely looks better for Dizon. And then this side is just like some value town, whoever can get a hold of that. And, you know, it's not as bad as it looks. BlueCoon does have a little entryway to the back, so you could take a second over here, could take a third, and then try to start pushing out to a fourth. But this map is so small, and BlueCoon's deck kind of yells aggression at me, so I think that's probably what we're going to see out of him. Yeah, lots of Tier 1 so far. Really need to be careful with these rush distances. I lost a game recently just because I didn't respect the small rush distance on the map. It's something pretty easy to overlook, you know. Certain, like, not crazy greedy things, but certain, like, greedy things, you know, like a quick Tier 2 or something, is definitely a little harder to pull off in situations like this. So we do see a Tier 2 coming out for BlueCoon, but it's nicely timed. It's after a few Tier 1 warrants, nothing greedy about that. And on the other side of the fence, Dizon going to grab that second base. BlueCoon going to scout it. I think maybe he saw it. No, not quite. Very close to his vision range there. And Dizon throwing out that Chameleon Warren right after BlueCoon's commander is out of the way. Second base here for Blue. And everything looks decent at this point. Nothing crazy just yet. BlueCoon getting a read on the amount of farms on the second base, checking around, seeing if there's an extra Tier 2 or anything like that. BlueCoon's scouting has been very good all series. Really on top of it. Okay, so got a little bit of downtime here. How's everybody doing? I hope y'all are well. Hope you're getting some things done during this stay-at-home kind of thing. Playing some games, maybe working on some projects. Ooh, look at this little chameleon attack from BlueCoon. Gets 2 farms. Dizon is not in position to deal with this. Oh, he's going to get a third as well. That is huge. Absolutely huge. And is Dizon just going to straight counterattack? He's going to try to put pressure on BlueCoon's second base, but this water outside is a nice natural defense here. And Dizon's going to come in for the attack. Kind of starting to think twice about it, though. Pulls his squirrels back. Let's see if he can get some effective trades. Both sides, Chameleon's going down. And yeah, we're just kind of trading here. BlueCoon's going to eventually clean this up with more Tier 1 Warrens with a quicker reinforcement. So not so great there for Dizon. This is rough. This is starting to look like a BlueCoon victory. Unless Dizon can pull a rabbit out of the hat. And BlueCoon knows he just won a big attack. He knows he just got a lot of value on that second base, and he's going to move in with just so many squirrels here. 24 squirrels moving and grooving. And this might be it for the series. Dizon puts up a fight, doesn't go down 3-0. But it looks like BlueCoon is going to take the set. Now, is he going to commit or is he going to pull back? He's going to commit. He knows he's got a lot of damage done. He knows he's right on top of his opponent's production. He's got enough squirrels left over. And this should just be that. GG. Nicely done, Blue Coon. All right, let me do some things here. What do we got coming up next? Kalaru versus Tosh. Cool. I'm excited to see Kalaru play on this meta. Kalaru's kind of known to do some crazy stuff from time to time to pull out some artillery or fox or things like that. So I'm hyped. Let's hop into set number 2, everybody. On the top left, we've got Big Pimpatosh. And his opponent to the bottom, Kalaru. Okay, Kalaru with the Ferret Balloon. So a couple interesting things about Kalaru's deck here. He's got Ferret Balloon, which is fun. It's a nice little poke strategy. And he doesn't have squirrels. He's going only lizards, which is kind of viable. It's a little bit harder on defense. And of course, the toads can give you trouble. But he's trying to round this out to normalization with the Pigeon Skunk, I feel like. And of course, Pigeon also synergizes with Badger. So if it's one of those things, you know, like Pigeon, Skunk, Badger just go to well so nicely together. 5-farm Lizard Warren here from Kalaru gets scouted by Tosh. Tosh responds with a 6-farm Lizard. Kalaru transitions his opening to a 6-farm Lizard. Or Tosh opens with a 6-farm Squirrel, rather. But, you know, the cat's out of the bag. I don't see Kalaru getting a whole lot done with this, especially because he did decide to sell off. So he's not going to even have that position where maybe he's got like 1 to 2 extra units than his opponent can try to snipe off a pig or take a value trade or something. So yeah, Kalaru's not going to commit too hard. Just going to get up to that 8-farm opening. Nice response here from Tosh. And I like this from Tosh too. He's just going to come in and say, hey, if you transition right into 8 farms, I'm going to punish you here. But that was not the case. And Kalaru's going to get a good trade, 2 for nothing. So Kalaru's starting the match at a little bit of an advantage, but nothing crazy. The General predicts as Tosh takes it. Really? Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens here. So I'm curious when Kalaru actually decides to go into the ferrets, and we've seen players like Dino as well pair lizards with ferrets. I think that's kind of interesting, you know. The lizards pack a nice punch. They've got the mobility. Maybe that's supposed to like juxtapose the ferrets a little bit, help defend them, help kind of make up for the fact that the ferrets aren't super strong in direct engagements sometimes. You know, maybe you want to poke with the ferrets, run away with them, and then intercept their chasing units with your lizards, right? And if they chase you too hard, then your faster units can pick them off on their retreat. But so far, just a bunch of lizards here from Tosh, and I wonder if Tosh is paying close attention and kind of realizes, wait a minute, Kalaru doesn't have squirrels at all if he goes into toads in the second round. But then again, toads are good on lizards, but they're really good against chameleons these days. So in a bit of a macro position, I like this. Kalaru getting out those ferrets. Kalaru's just kind of looking for an angle here with these lizards. He's going to find one as Tosh is kind of positioned his units over to defend the natural, and he's just going to immediately get that tier 2 Warren. Very nicely done. Not even greedy. If that was me, I probably would have tried to pick off a pig too, but no. Just going to try to get away scot-free. I think a lizard or 2 went down there with some nice value, and Tosh is going to move in for some counter-aggression here. Ooh, but Kalaru's going with the wraparounds. And just runs his units straight through. That might have been a little bit of a missed micro there. He took a lot of damage as the lizards kind of tried to wrap around on the squirrels. Maybe he should have just kind of targeted that chameleon down real quick. And Tosh does get a little bit done here. He kills 2 pigs. He trades armies. But he is gonna lose this this tank gristmill. Kalaru wants to put on some aggression, but I think Kalaru just kind of wants to delay the game with these ferrets a little bit. He just kind of wants to poke in and say, hey, you gotta attack into me or else my ferrets are just gonna get value. Grabs a Warren. Needs to be careful here, though. A lot of his lizards taking some heat during that. And no, he doesn't micro the ferrets back. Nice play there by Tosh. The chameleon's just deleting those ferrets immediately, and the chameleons are gonna be able to come back and clean up these lizards. Wow, that went great for Tosh, I feel like. Kalaru did get that Warren, which is something, you know, but the ferrets didn't kill any pigs. They didn't do a whole lot in that engagement. And I think Tosh even saved a chameleon there. And Kalaru's doubling down on these ferrets. He wants to get up to 4, and 4 is kind of cool because it's just like a random probability kind of thing, right? You know, if there's some chance that the ferrets hit, obviously when you get more ferrets, there's higher percentage that you hit on some of those coin flips. But I'd put my money on 4 cams against 4 ferrets. Especially because Kalaru doesn't have squirrels, which really help out on the defense. Balloon coming down, just saying to Tosh, stay away from my base. But if I'm Tosh, I mean, do you just macro up? Yeah, you take some farms here. Say, alright, you put 120 bucks into a balloon, I'm just going to get ahead and farm. Maybe throw down a badger. And Tosh sees Kalaru kind of posturing his lizards out. I think Kalaru was trying to do 2 things there. Maybe make it look like he was going for a run-by again. Yeah, you can see Tosh is not quite sure where to keep his units. He's kind of splitting them up, saying, alright, if I place it like this, I'm kind of okay if the lizards come in from either side. And I think also Kalaru might have just been trying to hide how many lizards he actually had. Cool Warren sell there. He sells off all his lizards. He's hoping, you know, the balloon keeps Tosh away for a little while, gets his economy back up. That's a nice way to get back into this game. But he just scouted the badger Warren. And you got all these ferrets, you know, you really want to do something with them. Yeah, I feel like he needs to start harassing. You know, Tosh doesn't have any units out that can really punish these ferrets. I mean, the chameleons can if you get the good ambush on them. But they're not going to be able to chase these ferrets down if they need to retreat. So, really the strength of the ferret is in between the big fights. You know, Kalaru needs to find some time, find some angles to get some damage in before the big skirmish hits. Oh! Oh, man. That would have been crazy if a chameleon died there. Badger almost here, though. And Kalaru's not got a whole bunch against these badgers. The lizard's okay, but not with the chameleons and squirrels defending it. I think Tosh is putting together a really strong army here that might just come in and roll over Kalaru. Kalaru trying to throw down some desperation balloons. But Tosh going to come in with some pressure before the badger's even here. Oh, and the balloons go down right before they take to the air. All the ferrets going down, but one barely makes it away. Tosh is in control this match, and I think once this badger shows up, that might just be it here. Kalaru's really got nothing left. He's got a strong economy, but he doesn't have units. Tosh moving in for the kill. And I just don't think Kalaru's got anything here that can really defend. That he's going to have to tap, and we'll head into match number 2. Badger does go down. It's a little moral victory there. But critical damage has been dealt. GG. Or in the words of Tasteless, GG. Nice victory there for Tosh. What was I about to look at? Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is being live updated, this website. here that Gustavon put together. We could see Blue Coon got his score updated. It was 4 a second ago, now it's 5. I love this. I think it looks really sleek. Good job putting that together, sir. All right, let's keep going. Game number 2 here. Oh, zoom in. Yeah. I will. Maybe after this series, we can take a closer look. I didn't realize how large it is. I have a really big monitor, so the resolution's huge. But in the right, we've got Big Pipitosh pulling out the Fox. Over the top left, we've got Claro also rocking that sniper. Squirrel, Toad, Mole. Claro looks aggressive here. And Tosh is as well, you know, Squizzard, Cam, Mine, Fox. I mean, both these decks are real aggressive here. Tosh is hoping to transition into that late game if he needs to with the Owl. And meanwhile, Claro is saying, okay, if we get there, I can mass up some Falcons and Snakes and maybe be okay. This is kind of a big map. Kind of sparse on the grist mills a little bit. They're kind of spread out, I guess. Claro's got a nice little triple here. Yeah, I was gotta keep my eye on these guys. I know Claro likes to rush every now and then. So 6 farm, Squirrel coming out, and Tosh is actually got a little duped there because that wasn't a straight up 6 farm. That was like, hey, while you're scouting, you know, I'm just building farms, nothing crazy. And you know, Tosh, I do that all the time too. It's easy to do. You need to scout the map. You need to know what's going on. So Tosh decided not to go in for a second scout and instead get a little bit of the lay of the land. But at the same time, I mean, this is so delayed, and this map is large enough. Like, Tosh is going to be fine, and Tosh is actually going to be in a better spot coming out of this early game here because he's going to have the 8 farm, you know, straight up. He's going to have some units. So by the time Claro even marched over there, if he chose to, Tosh has got plenty to defend. Even got a couple mines out here. But Claro's building moles, which to me says he hasn't given up on this aggression. And Tosh found the sneaky moles. Claro should be able to get over there in time and sell it off for all the money. That is nice, but that is a big tempo hit. This rush is just 100% shut down now. You know, give it up. Yeah, go into some tier 2. The Snakes, though, the Snakes have a good chance of just getting rocked by mass tier 1. And Tosh knows he's got a little bit of tempo here. He's going to come in and poke and prod. I would be surprised if he did like a really hard commit, but he's just going to come say hi, see what you got. He says, all right, you got enough. And bails out. Claro wants to clear these mines effectively. If he does this right, I wonder if the Toad will hit both? No, not quite. And Claro is going to get into that Snake. Really interesting tier 2 picks from Claro. He's going for more of these kind of utility tier 2 over the big, you know, bruiser folks like the Skunks and Chameleons. You know, Claro really favoring these kind of high risk, high reward tier 2. So many mines here. Oh my god. I think Claro saw a few of them building. Maybe not. They're not showing up on his vision. Claro wants to get it done. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, dude. What the hell? Oh, man. Somebody needs to clip that. That is clip worthy. Mind players rejoice. Gosh, that was insane. That was a lot of money from Tosh. It was a lot of mines, but definitely value. Definitely big tempo here. Jeez Louise. Someone's got to clip that one, man. Tosh gonna try to just win off the back of the tempo that he got there. I know I keep using that word, but I think it's applicable here. You know, the big thing from that engagement was the fact that Claro's got to completely rebuild his army here. That gives Tosh a window since he didn't trade any army, he just traded mines. Look at that army graph too, so insane. Jeez. Good job, Tosh. That was bananas. Oh, Claro, I know, dude. That's the worst thing. Like, when you run into a big minefield and you hit a few mines and you're like, surely there's not more mines. And oh yes there were. Let's hop into game 3, guys. Microphone in chat, what's up, dude? Got a lot of old names today. Thordura. Good to see everybody hanging out, man. In the bottom, we've got Tosh. Up top, we've got Claro. Tooth and Tail's in a really fun spot right now, man. If you haven't played in a while, now's a good time. We got, of course, the Tooth and Tail Championship going on, so there's plenty of good VODs to kind of learn the meta, steal some builds and some decks. A lot of people are streaming this. Of course, me and Tosh, but you know, several others as well. I think Marmu's been streaming. Comrade Solomon. A lot of newer folks. Jed Erickson, of course. He's got some sick, some cabin ratings, some hardcore cabin analysis going on. I love to see new streamers, man. That makes me so happy. Because for one, the workload during some of these events for streamers is just really high, so we need them. And for two, it's just awesome. Like, more people casting the game, the better, in my opinion. All right, so no Fox, no mines. Claro is still a little crazy here, taking all of the attacking tier 1. He's got the entire cavalcade of early game units here. Meanwhile, Tosh is opting for tier 2 menagerie, just all of the tier 2 choices you can think of, besides Ferret. Here we go, Claro! Let's see it, man. He's trying to be aggressive, trying to play a little bit crazy, a little bit off meta. I like it. Now, the question is he going to get away with it this time? Let's take a look at Tosh's scouting. This is very important. Tosh did notice that there was food missing. Here come the moles. Really trying to target these structures down, but it's just not going to do enough. You know, really where you want the moles is on like a building farm, because they get that extra crit. And Claro knows he's in a little bit of trouble after the rush didn't quite do so well there. Yeah, yeah, man, Pocket World is back. We got a new Pocket World season coming on, too. That's a great incentive to get into that rank play. All right, Tosh is already looking good. Already killed a farm. But Claro did, you know, didn't do anything crazy after the attack failed. Just built a whole bunch of tier 1, and that does let him stay alive for now. I would actually rather see that pig that he's rebuilding just be on the second base, because that farm's already pretty mined out here. And Claro's going to take a risk, going to try to get up in some money. You know, Tosh isn't going to just run him over. Tosh did commit to a couple farms himself, and Tosh probably wants to wait for the skunk to get here, realizing that Claro is really just relying heavily on the tier 1 at the moment. Ooh, I love this transition here from Claro. Let's see it. One more Warren. Let's see 30 lizards. Come on now. Oh no, he's gonna double bluff. Claro's got the mind games. Gonna try to get into double owl. Claro, you're a madman. Is this gonna work? This is super greedy. He's really relying on Tosh to not move out, but look at this. Tosh is definitely moving out soon. 8 tier 1 Warrens, fresh tier 1 Warrens. Looks like he sold some off to get the skunks faster, maybe. And Claro says, alright, maybe 2 is a little crazy. I'll just stick to 1. But, you know, I don't hate this from Claro. You gotta try and do something. You gotta take a risk. And to be fair, he's not, like, crazy behind. You know, he had that botched first attack, the counter attack from Tosh. Got some damage in, but it looks like Tosh is really gonna move out before this owl hits. And this owl's not going to be here for like another minute. It's even getting blocked. by the squirrel production. There it goes. So yeah, another 40 seconds till the owl even hits the board. And the owl's not like one of those boar badger kind of units that's gonna really, you know, just make an engagement. The owl is gonna help, but Tasha's got so many skunks. Those mice all just might get gassed out. It's a shame, too, because maybe the double owl was the right play, you know? It's rough. I agree. It makes more sense. It's easy to say that in hindsight, I guess. It's like, yeah, of course it was the right play when he didn't move out. But if Tasha would have moved out, that would have been a lot of food invested into the things that are not on the board. Clara gonna look for something with these lizards here. He's got 12. That's enough to be dangerous. Might try to find an opening where the units aren't at. Setting up for a base race, possibly. Trying to take some infrastructure all around the place. I'm gonna pick up a pig. It was on its way out anyways, but hey, value's value. Only loses a lizard there and keeps Tosh on his toes. 3 owls! Alright, man, if Tosh sits around for too long, trying to build up double tier 2 of each, this is gonna be a nasty comp. Blech. Clara gonna try to come in for some mice harassment here. Blech. But Tosh is in position. Tosh already knew about the owl, right? Yeah. So, no surprise there. Probably didn't really lose anything. Dude, Tosh, no squirrels. Straight tier 2. I don't know, man. Clara's done a really good job of delaying the game. And that's what he needs to do. Cam's on the move out. 4 cams. That's just so much DPS, so fast. Unless Clara notices the grass moving. Oh no, Tosh is taking it back. Oh my god, are they going to de-stealth? I don't know about this engagement. Let's see how it goes. Tosh is going to clean it up, no problem, but Claro does make it out with his owls and snakes. Those are the real important units here. But Tosh is ready to rock and roll on this expansion. Dude, look at this army. This is nuts. So much tier 2. Only the pigeons here in the tier 1 slot. And now the 3 owls are here. But yeah, the mice aren't quite coming in with the rest of the army. You need the mice to really buffer in. And with all these pigeons, with all the skunk gas, you know, these mice aren't really getting a whole lot done. Dang, man. And the owl, are they going to get intercepted? It's going to be close when the snakes tag them. One snake makes it out of there. But here's the thing. If Gallardo can rinse and repeat this, really just try to engage with maybe just the mice. Like, don't lose anything. You know, Tosh needs a third base. He's getting it now. This is a lot of free units coming out of Claro. 3 owls. Nothing to bat an eye at. Here we go. Another big engagement coming in. Claro just needs to keep these owls alive, ideally. So many mice. Claro might actually be putting together the comeback here. Really needs to get these falcons out of the sky. Denies the third. And Tosh, here's the problem with all this tier 2 is that they just take so long to rebuild, so once you kind of get checked like that and the army's at your front door, you don't get that quick reinforcement like you do at tier 1, and Claro puts a point up on the board. Game 4, guys. Let's keep it going. In the bottom, we've got Kalaru, and up top, his opponent, Tosh. And both players really changing things up. Tosh with a very dramatic deck. Ideally wants to take over a good portion of the map, throw down some defenses, and get a nice spot together for the Fox to start poking. Boar from both sides. And these snakes might come in handy here for Kalaru. He's got the snakes, he's got the mines. These are both things that can deal nicely with the Fox. The snakes are a little bit tougher. You kind of got to get that surprise angle, or maybe rely on the Fox player to make a little bit of a mistake, because the Fox does outrange the snakes. But if the snake gets a tag, then 9 times out of 10, that Fox is done for. But Kalaru's got a more ground pounder deck here. You know, he can really put on the aggression with the Squirrel Mole in the early game if he chooses to. Oh, this is cute. This is cute. This is gonna work. Yeah, he's got to sell it. Look at that, going straight into the snake here. This is risky, man. Like, I lost a championship game going 8 farm war in tier 2 against like a lot of Squirrel Mole, but the map was really small. So maybe this map is actually, this is kind of more of a medium-sized map, so you could probably get away with the quick tier 2. Especially because Tosh is going for his own tier 2, his own expansion. So yeah, this looks fine for Kalaru. Delayed tier 1, says Kalaru as well. That is true. And here comes a barbed wire from Tosh. The barbed wire is cheaper on this patch than it used to be. But that is still an investment. This is really annoying when you're against this, though, you know? It's like, what's the proper response when you see all this barbed wire? And this isn't the best-looking map for Kalaru. He's got maybe this base over here, but it's kind of close to where Kalaru's setting up shop. You could try to go right through this choke in the middle and try to ignore it. Yeah, you could just eco up. You could try to tech up. Here comes a Fox. And see, that's what kind of makes you hesitant sometimes about the eco up. But then again, ecoing up can be a good response to the Fox, because then you just get so much stuff. It's like, even if the Fox is biting at your heels, you know, you can afford it. Yeah, Kalaru's not messing around, man. And really, Tosh has got a paper tiger army, you know. He doesn't have much. Like, he's invested in the second base. He's invested in a lot of defense. He's got the Fox on the way. So maybe Kalaru can hit a timing, but the issue with this is it's risky. Like, if it doesn't work, then that's just game. Ooh, yeah, you can come up to the top, too. These moles moving in. Kalaru says, no, you are not going to turtle up. Bringing the pressure, and these snakes are going to do a lot of work. This pigeon, too, granting the high ground vision. The Fox is about 25 seconds out still. Kalaru might have broken him and just going to win this match. Yeah, I don't really see what else Tosh can do. Even if the Fox hit the board, it just wouldn't be enough at this point. And that's that. Nice, decisive victory from Kalaru. Good call there. He did have the moles, as the gentleman points out, which is good, to deal with that barbed wire. Alright, we've got a game number 5 on our hands. The general predict was Tosh takes it 3-2, so let's see if he's right. So far, he's close. On the left, we've got Tosh. And opponent to the top right, we've got Kalaru with the signature Fox Artie. I love it. The patented artillery fox play. And I like the rest of the deck from Kalaru here is kind of normal, you know? Like Squirrel Toad, Cam Falcon, just some solid comp. The Toads deal with your opponent's cams. Maybe a bunch of tier 1 if it comes to that. And then he's got some wiggle room to play around with those Fox Artie picks. Always think that's something to consider if you're going to try to do something a bit crazy. It's like, alright, make the rest of your deck, if you can, like as many slots, just be powerful, solid picks. You know, that way your couple of slots that are being a little bit crazy, you can kind of make up for it. So good scout from Kalaru, realizes Tosh is missing a bit of food, throws down some squirrels. And these moles really rely on a building farm because they get that crit. You know, this mole attack's not gonna, or a structure, you know, like the moles want to hit the building farms of the Warrens ideally. They're not gonna DPS down the pigs very fast. So, nice response from Kalaru there. Good job from Tosh as well, just trying to change it up. And I think Tosh might have come out of that early game a bit better. I think he got to his 8 farms slightly faster. Okay. How do you pull this off for your Kalaru? You got this you got this mill here. But there's no way Tosh is just going to sit around and let you take this. Ideally, what Kalaru would really want is if this mill was more like where this tree is. You know? So you kind of take it and still be safe and not just send out red flags that I'm going to get you with some defense. And then the territory would be expanded. Then you can kind of put an artillery right there or something. There's a cabin over here. Might make it happen. But that seems a little bit too far to the side. Tosh could probably just ignore that and run around. Speaking of run around, Tosh is coming in for a Squizzard attack here, but before really committing, just going to come in and see what's up. Did scout double cam, which can be strong, but it's also, I feel like it might be a little better defensively than just swinging in. Nice little pick off there from Tosh. And again, yeah, I'd rather see that farm just be retaken on the second base. Get a fresh farm. Get all the bang for your buck. Squizzer Army backed up by Falcon is the name of the game so far for Tosh. And yeah, Tosh is just kind of evolving in this game appropriately, right? He's not doing anything crazy. He's building up a safe amount of tier 1. He's not overcommitting his second base. He's not neglecting his tech. He's trying to push around with his lizards, be aggressive, find little pockets. Oh, and this is a nice little bait from Kalaru. Oh, that was great. Ooh, loses a cam though. Gotta be careful. But I love that, you know. The lizards think they're about to get some free bacon there. And Cam's just waiting. All right, so this is a tense match here. This is the final match of the best of 5. Where's the big play? Where's the tier 3? Where's the going crazy on the farms? Tosh, I wouldn't call that going crazy, but he is kind of winning the farm up battle at the moment. And being active on the map with the lizards, very important. You know, keep your opponent on their toes. Try to find some value where you can. He did see the toads, too. I wonder if that might be why he's not building chameleons. And this aggressive mole... Yeah, okay. He changed his mind. But that definitely was saying he's ready to pull the trigger. I wouldn't hate to see a wolf, maybe. If we're just going to hang out for a little bit in this game. And Kalaru might be a bit too conservative here. Well, that might not be the right word. Just might be a little too nervous to throw down the fox. He doesn't want to get attacked. And, oh, did he see the moles? Probably not. No, he did. So he knows. He knows Tosh is looking to get aggressive. Even an artillery cannon, like, right there or something would probably do a good job of defending, like, all this real estate. Claro's looking for the engagement. Alright, here's the big proxy war, and well, this is just a tank mill. Proxy mill is what I meant to say. But this is just a tank mill. This shouldn't be setting off alarms, Tosh. You know, this is pretty standard. You're coming in, you build that mill. But here's the big engagement. Some Toads get some nice connections. But all of these Falcons just doing so much DPS from the air, cleaning everything up. And that's an extra 60 food with that mill. The mill didn't even really help in the fight. And the general predict might be correct here. Tosh is in a phenomenal spot this game after that engagement. He's got the better economy. He's got the better army. Claro needs a miracle to come back from this point. That was a big pimpin' play. I like it. Yeah, there's the Fox. I like it. It's rough with all these moles, but you gotta do something. And right when Tosh sees that Fox Warren, he's just gonna know. Oh, but he didn't see it. He didn't see it. I think you just immediately pull the trigger when you see that. But Tosh has got to know he's so far ahead. I mean, look at this massive army here. Oh, the artillery. Claro's not quite in position. He gets his chameleons out just in time. But Claro's got really nothing left here. That one engagement just went too well for Tosh. A well-played series, but the general predict is correct, and Tosh takes it 3-2. Gentle predicted, indeed. Okay, so let's take a look. Yeah, get a little zoomage here. That looks better. So I think once I refresh this, we should see Tosh had 2 wins. That's actually a big win for Tosh, because trying to get into this top 4 position here. Yeah, now he's got 3. So he's really hoping that Mochaccino doesn't win. And maybe with another game, he might be able to squid. No, I think Blue Coon probably has it at this point. I'm not sure how much of the results are the final few rounds. This is going to be a good finals here. Mishi going just undefeated. Jeez Louise. Crazy. Okay, what do we got next? We got a few series left, guys. We got set 3 and 4. Gonna hop into James versus Mochaccino. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, set 3. My cat is blocking the chat. Cat chat. General Predict says James is going to 3-0 Mocha. Mocha's not happy about that in the chat. Let's see how it happens. James and Mocha both really great players. Mochaccino is actually, I think, gets my most improved player award. Really been after it lately. Really become one of the top contenders very quickly. I remember under Augusta, like, he was good, you know. He was like a mid-range player. Mocha, though, the new name Mocha, definitely good. Good stuff. And of course, James has been very consistent for a long time. So let's see who's able to take this one. Over to the left, we got Mochaccino. Opponent to the top right, James. Now, one thing about Mocha is I think this is kind of the patented Mocha deck here, if I'm correct, from the games I've played against him and seen. I think generally he likes this setup. I don't think he's one of those players that's gonna do like just a crazy deck in the next rounds. Like I would predict. I'm not brave enough to do a general predict here, but I would predict that we see Mocha kind of stick with the same deck throughout the series, where James, I think, is going to change it up. You know, and not only that, but James has kind of a variety of builds a lot of the times. You know, we can see him get aggressive, you know, pre-8 farm. We can see him do some, like, 2 base all-ins. So let's see how this one plays out. A little bit of a short rush distance. Lots of mills. Both players with pretty good access to the 3 bases. I kind of like it better for James here. He's got this high ground up here. He's got his 3 bases kind of nice and neat. He's got a 4th that's pretty reasonable as well. But it's fine for Mocha. He's got kind of a linear progression 3 base. You know, and a 4th that'd probably be difficult to take. And, you know, a decent, fast, not really fast. I kind of consider a fast expand the build where you go like 8 farm into mill, into Warrens. So going to 8 farm double into an expand, that's just an expand opening, you know? Does that make sense? And love that from James too, by the way. Was that after the scout? I love that if that was after the scout. Yeah, I love that. 100%. Very nice play there. And what he did is a little bit, I'm blanking on the word, my brain's not totally on yet, playing too many video games. I'm on like 4 brain cells. But basically what happened was James realized both him and his opponent were going for the 8 farm double into an expand, and says, alright, I'm safe enough to sell off a tier 1 Warren to get my tier 2 out a little bit faster. Nuance was the term I was looking for. Jeez. I need to Control-Alt-Delete Delthius. Where's Premium Bo to make fun of me? The rest of you are too nice. I might need a couple more mods, to be honest. Oh, James coming in, gets a Warren, gets a pig. This is looking good. Is he going to go home after this, or are you going to keep it going? Yeah, I think P-Boost's like my only mod. Then again, I don't really need mods. Nobody's ever super crazy in the chat. Oh, Jet's here. Jet's got a sword. Why does Jet have a sword? Oh, gosh. That's dangerous. Oh, man. Did somebody clip those mine hits? Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I actually need to get a feast going again. Yeah, do send me some replays. It's been a long time since we've done that. I've just been booked up doing this, but I could always, you know, do an extra day to feast or something. And we got Classic Battle here. What's going on, guys? What is this, 2017 from this chat? Alright, James throwing down some turrets. This is a little bit weird. If you're Mocha, you're looking at that like, why? I'd be tempted to just eco up, maybe get to my owls. You know, obviously James wants to throw down a tier 3 or something. That's kind of the message you're sending out when you throw down turrets. Saying, hey, I want to get to my Big Daddy Badger here. And there it is. Oh, Mocha! Ah! Oh, man. Oh, Mocha has lizards too. Man, Mocha sniffed this out. He's got a really clear path to just go snipe that Badger. That's kind of the double-edged sword of hiding your tier 3 Warren. Like, yeah, it's great if they don't scout it, but it's in a very vulnerable spot, right? Where if you just put it back here or something, it's like, okay, he will scout it, but he's not going to be able to run in there and take it out. Mocha, oh no, Mocha! Oh no, he already did scout it. Okay. Oh, he saw it when he was here because of the high ground. That's right. Yeah, and James kind of realizes this. He might want to just keep his chameleons over there or something. No, James, come on. You know he scouted it, James! Oh, look at this. I called it. Big oof. Oh, Mocha's just gonna sack these lizards to get some damage done. Oh, or he might actually get out with some, or no, okay. I think he flirted with the idea of maybe trying to take out a pig or a Warren or something. This is rough for James. James is going to double down, though, and say, you know what, fine, man. We'll go into double Badger. And the Badger's actually a good pick against Mocha, because, again, I feel like Mocha, and there's not anything wrong. I'm not, dissing it or anything. It's definitely a style. There's kind of like two schools of thoughts at like high-level competitive tooth and tail play. It's like, are you searching for the holy grail of decks, right? Like, all right, I'm going to play one deck that I think is the best, that's got good answers for everything, it's really well-rounded, and I'm just going to practice the hell out of that deck, right? And we've seen players get a lot of success doing that. This guy comes to mind. And the other school of thought is, I'm going to constantly change my deck, so you never know what's coming at you. I've got a variety of builds I can take out, which is hard, because you gotta practice all those different things, or you can just be like me and change up your deck without practicing it in tournament matches. But I guess what I'm getting at here is, if James has done his homework, he should know that the Mocha generally likes this like Badger, Falcon, Owl deck. Or, I'm sorry, Owl, Skunk, Falcon deck, right? And that's probably why he decided to go with the Badger. But in general, I think Badger's in a good spot right now anyways. I mean, the Owl's pretty meta. Badger, of course, wins that rock, paper, scissors against it. Here we go, double Badgers. James got to keep these suckers alive, got to keep them revved up. There's a lot of Falcons here. He's going to push in for the big hit. Some phenomenal micro here by James. Look at that. Tanking, so much tanking with the Badgers. They both live. Double Badger, man. Oof. I like it. And James takes the match, even after Mocha got that awesome snipe off. Let's keep it rolling. Game number 2. In the left, we've got James. And his opponent to the right, Mocha. All right, so Mocha is changing it up. Once again, caster cursing Delthius. And we see James changing it up pretty dramatically as well. This is a little bit of a bigger map. The map looks much better for Mocha, especially if he wants to take it to the late game. But the boar, well, boar Falcon Cam can probably stand up to Owl in the late game. I'm a little bit worried about the snakes. With the boar Cam, the mice should really get handled pretty effectively without losing too much. And of course, the Falcons, great late game unit. But the Owl Snake combo is interesting. If the snakes can hit the boar from Mocha, that could change things up. Snake's doing pretty good against the chameleons and the boars, but the pigeons are here. So maybe Mocha kind of realized, what's my weakness? Snakes. Okay, I'll put in some pigeons. And the boar is particularly, I mean, all tier 3 are vulnerable to the snake, but the boar is particularly vulnerable because of its slow movement speed. Cabin review. I've only got 2 cabins here, man. All right. What's my cabin review? Well, honestly, I'm digging this cabin a bit better. You've got this high ground here. Is that even an actual high ground? But, you've got probably better access to the main roads and stuff. I'd imagine this fence right here probably opens up and you get out of this area. In general, I think I'd rather live in this cabin. It's closer to Bellified's territory, and I'm more of a capitalist fan than Secret Police. And plus, this one's got 3 beds, 2 baths. This one's only 2 bed, 1 bath. That's my cabin review. Man, we should actually have some, different... I wonder if we could bug some pixel artists. I wonder how hard that'd be for Eel to put in, get the cabins to spawn different styles. No food rating. Food rating cabin reviews. No, man, you need RP cabin reviews. That's the real cabin reviews. What are you doing, Jet? Alright, Mocha's wanting to get something done here. I like the clutch barbed wire, the nice snake defense, big macro game. Cams are kind of cool to see early. I think with some good micro, they can do well against cams. Owl Warren coming down. And Mocha hasn't seen this owl, but you're probably not going to be crazy surprised by it. Right? Like, we got into big second bases here, so what's that mean? That means you're either financing a tier 3 or a bunch of tier 2 for the most part. Or you can be a madman and go up to, like, 50 tier 1. And here's Mochaccino's own tier 3 in the form of that boar. And yeah, we've got a nice big fat juicy macro game here. Might do a little fast forwarding as we're kind of just building up here. We're going to see which army clash. Third base coming up for Mocha. And the second owl here for James. Third bases from both sides. Now is Mocha just going to push with the board? Nice food management there from Mocha, by the way. I always like to see that. You don't want to block your tier 3. At the same time, you don't want to overfloat. Mocha gets that double tier 2 scout here. He knows it's the owls. She's probably feeling okay about it. Yeah, I like trying to get out some cams of falcons, but the boar pigeon, like I don't know. I think this is going to be an interesting engagement. Like I think it's going to come down to the positioning, come down to some of the target firing. Like the boar should be a good unit against all those mice. You just put a couple mole warrens like right next to it, like a madman. Like, what's up? That'd be awesome. Here's the boar. And here come the mice. They're gonna get some free value on those mines, which is always nice. But what's the plan for Mocha? Are you gonna hit a timing with this boar? Or are you just going to try to really get into a bunch of tier 2? You know, the cams and falcons scale great into the late game. Just really doesn't want snake hits on the board. And even if he does, it's not the end of the world. He's got 9 pigeons here. I love the very... you know, not going overboard with the barbed wire, too, by the way. Just a couple pieces. Here's the big boar attack, and James doesn't really have any AoE. One owl already goes down. Yeah, this is just melting over. That's kind of what I thought. Like, boar cam falcon is a nice comp, even against the free units of the owl. And he doesn't quite get the second base, but he got so much damage done. And the reinforcements here from James will clean it up, but James lost so much there. However... you know, maybe Mochaccino lost too much in that big engagement. It was looking good for him up front. But the reinforcements here from James moving in. Like, that looked like a good engagement for Mocha. I think maybe once the boar died and that second base just didn't quite go down. And James just has, you know, enough left over. Tier 2 and Tier 3. Pushes in. Gets that counter damage dealt. Let's see what Mochaccino can rally back up. Now he doesn't have the board to really be cost-effective against the mice. So these 3 mice from James are probably just going to take the game from here. Or 3 owls, rather, right? I mean, you can't deal with this effectively anymore. Bleh. 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 Hey, look at this. James is in a great spot. Mocha's got a third base. Mocha's doing some smart sells here, trying to shuffle around and put together whatever he can. Really hoping on the Falcons to take care of this. And the Falcons would be nice if the Owls get close enough to where you can shoot them down, but James is not going to let that happen. And this is just going to be a slow burn, I think. I think James is just going to keep coming in with these 3 owls, getting more and more value. And slowly just going to bleed Mocha out. Mocha's aware of this, knows he's got to make something happen. Gonna pick up a mill, which is a nice start, but look at this army here from James. Rampaging over. Mocha taps out. 2-0 to James. The general predict was 3-0. Let's see if Mocha can bring it back, or if Gentleman's gonna be 2 for 2. I don't think he made a prediction for the first series. Game number 3, let's go. Alright, to the right we've got Mocha, and to the bottom we've got James. Ooh, man, James stealing my heart here with this siege deck. Ferret, Fox, Balloon. Really fun style to try to pull off. Really frustrating style to play against. But it's got a lot of weaknesses. You gotta do it just right. And James is just gonna rely on the Squirrel Toad Chameleon if things don't go right. Meanwhile, Mochaccino's just got this bruiser mid-game deck. You know, kind of reminds me of something that Araloo would perhaps put together. Just saying, all right, man, I'm gonna take it to you in the mid-game. This is gonna be a 1-2 base match. I think the Skunks are a great addition if you want to be aggressive, by the way. Like, sometimes attacking in with Chameleons can be difficult, right? But with Skunks, it's almost like not quite a poke unit, but pretty close, you know? Like, you can set up your Skunks and start kind of putting the pressure on without fully committing. Chameleons kind of have to, like, fully commit to get in there. And when they do, it's great, but it can go bad. Like, I've lost some games trying to commit with a bunch of Chameleons on like hunkered down opponents, you know. I think Skunks would probably do a better job of that. And Mochaccino, look at this. I like the natural up front that kind of just guarantees the third for later. There's also this little, oh no, this is not an attack path. It looked like it would be. Oh no, there's no way to get to this base for James here. This is a very awkward map. Both players just saying, you know what, we're gonna get up on the map. We're going to take some of these expansions to the northwest, and we're going to, secure in these other ones. But as weird as it looks, this is not really a good expansion for James. But hold that thought. Mochaccino is trying to move in, but James has some units in position. So yeah, this is kind of cool. You know, it's on a similar thing from James here. I imagine this is going to be an aggressive game, especially what Mochaccino is bringing to the table. But if this game does go long, James just gets all these bases for free. And then also keep in mind, this does make sense for James to take this mill because of the siege style. And the siege style might actually come into play here because this is a pretty good map for it. There's only one attack path, as weird as that looks. Ooh, Mocha is going to have to give up this base. Afraid of this Squirrel Toad. The Squirrel Toad is a great counter to exactly what he has, Lizard Chameleon. And James is going to keep the pressure on. But yeah, like, there's only the one attack path. So if you really wanted to get this siege strategy going, yeah, you start building balloons there. You know, then build another balloon there. Then take this mill. Then start building balloons up here. And the big weakness to this balloon style is big open maps. So this is actually kind of exactly what James wanted. And look at this. The Squirrel Lizard Cam's actually busting through the Squirrel Toad. And now Mocha's got some momentum in this game. Getting some real damage done here. 2 Warrens already. He's on top of production. This is getting spicy. This might just snowball to a victory right here, right now. Oh my god, that's it. Wow. Off the back of a solid engagement there. Mochaccino. Oh, I'm sorry. That was 2-0 for James. What am I talking about? It's 2-1 now. But a nice victory. Keeps the series alive. Proving Gentleman wrong. General predict, not quite. But, you know, if it was 3-1, that's pretty close. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in Game 4 here. The bottom right, we've got Mochaccino, and in the top left, we've got James. Mocha, again, going to go for this aggressive style. It's a good map for it. There's a couple different attack paths in with these lizards here. And James, again, rocking the Balloon Fox, but not committing as hard. Doesn't have the ferret this time around. So the rest of his deck, you know, he's got some normality with it. But this is not exactly the map you want to see for the balloon play. But, you know, he doesn't even have to build the balloons, really. Well, actually, to be fair, like, even just putting a balloon right there later on, I wouldn't want to see it early or anything, but, you know, once we're on, like, 2 base, half sat or something like that, you're working on a fox. All right, throw that balloon down. I got plenty of tier 1. That might not be bad. But this is a very short rush distance here, and it's even benefited by the road as well. Even faster attack path. So this is a good chance to get aggressive. Kind of awkward attacking into James, though. Right? Like, you probably want to come in from this angle. Because there's a bunch of doodads here. There's a bunch of awkward ramping. So if you're Mocha, you probably want to either attack in like this or swing all the way around. And very greedy opening here from James, regardless of the small map and lots of road. Like, that's about as greedy as you can get, really. Expansion into a couple farms, into a tier 2. But he is scouting. Like, he knew the tier 2 was coming up from his opponent. And this is a decent response, right? If you can get away with those 2 farms, you're going to be very far ahead. But it is risky. If Mochaccino just hit the tier 1 button, there's a chance he might get ran over. But Mochaccino is going to go into farm, so that's kind of exactly what James wants. He wants Mocha to spend a little bit of money on non-army stuff, so his 180 food investment has some time to really pay off. And here we go. Mocha's trying to move in with these cams. James has got his own cams, though. It looks like we're going to trade about pound for pound here. Which is going to favor James a little bit since he's got the expansion up and running. Like, Mocha really needed to get some damage done there to even things out. Kill a pig, kill a warren, or something. But Mocha's got a lot of money. He's just going to come home, build a couple farms. And James is going to get the scout on that. Really great scout here from Mocha, too. Knows exactly what James is up to. Knows he's getting double tier 2. Knows he's getting a bunch of farms of his own. And yeah, now we're into a macro game, and this is where scouting is just so important. And doing little things like that, yeah, like selling off tier 1 to get your farms and tier 2 up faster. You really want to keep an eye on how many farms your opponents are building, how many tier 2s they're building, if they got a tier 3. Here come the cams. Little Metal Gear Solid sneaky mission over here. Ooh. Oh, didn't quite get the pig. Nice try, though, from James. It's always hard to do that since you're just relying on the minimap. But good attempt. Didn't cost him anything. Good response from Mochaccino, too. Alright, Mocha wants to see that tier 3 scout. But, again, at this phase in the game, you're not shocked by a tier 3, you know? It's kind of about that tier 3 time. And getting the fox out a little bit earlier did delay the full saturation from James. But he gets it up at a pretty appropriate time, and Mocha... Oh, he knows. Mocha's very good on his scouting. Very consistently. That's always annoying. So he sees the fox. Not a lot he can do about it. 4 cams are nice. Set him up in a spot you think the fox is going to run through, like maybe right there. And the 4 cams will just immediately delete the Fox. I think my math might be a little fuzzy on it. I'm not as good at keeping up with the numbers as some of you other nerds are, but I think it's like if all 4 cams hit the Fox once, it dies. And James being, that was a big mistake, you know, trying to move out before the Fox was ready. He's got a lot of food. I mean, 360 into the Fox, another 60 into the third base, 420 blaze it. That's a lot of food not on the map. And then another 120 into the balloon, so just think about how much. What is that, 540? 540 food down in Army right there in that engagement. And that was real bad for James. This is great for Mochaccino. You know, this Fox kind of needs a decent Army to run home to. And now that Mocha took such a good engagement, it's going to be a little more difficult. Now these cams, you know, got to be careful about the toads too. But James just wants to delay this big engagement for as long as possible, get as much value as he can from the Fox, but Mocha's going to move in, does lose all of his cams here, but he's just got so many squirrels. And this is another good way to deal with the Fox, is you just overwhelm her with squirrels. You know, yeah, the Fox is going to get a ton of value, but eventually, you know, you just zap Brannigan style is what I call it. You're just throwing stuff at him. And eventually you back the Fox into a corner, you got nowhere to run. Now great Fox control here, but Mochaccino is just slamming through. On top of the production, knocking out Warrens. James just doesn't have an Army to fall back on, and 1 HP on the Fox. Sometimes it's easy to underestimate that skunk gas. And I think that's just going to be it. I think James had a good chance of pulling off the Fox strategy here. He just kind of messed up by trying to set up shop with that balloon, you know, before the Fox was really ready. Right there you can see it on the Army graph, you know. James really needed to not be so far behind an Army when the Fox hits. It's not a unit like the Badger or something that's really going to just annihilate a skirmish. Mocha coming back, tying this up 2-2. Hopping into game 5 here. The bottom we got Mocha. And to the right we've got James. Pulling out the boar. Still trying to rock the balloon. You know, these balloons really haven't been working for James these past few games. But he's going to try it. And Mochaccino's sticking with this bruiser style. He kind of poked and prodded around. And I think that's smart because it's a very straightforward, upfront, kind of punishing way to play, right? Like, Mochaccino's deck just kind of punishes you if you're doing anything kind of wonky. And stuff like foxes and ferrets and balloons is definitely a little wonky, so, you know, Mochaccino's Army just packs this very straightforward punch. Well, let's see how these guys want to play it out. I might do a little fast forwarding. We do have another series to get to today. Hope you guys don't mind. 8 farm doubles from both sides. Actually, Mocha going into triple squirrel here, which is not crazy yet, but it certainly might be. You know, once he starts throwing down more on 4 or 5, I get a little worried. James, man, wants to make the balloon work. I think that's his that's his goal this series. Let me just have a balloon game that works. And balloon did not get scouted. But Mocha might have noticed some money was missing, but he might have just assumed that it was a tier 2. I'm going to respond with his own tier 2 here. You know, but this balloon's just a big investment from James. It's not doing a whole lot because it's not going to defend the second base effectively. Like, yeah, it is going to stop Mocha from moving in, so I mean, if you're building a boar, I guess a ferret, yeah, you know. But is it a big enough payoff? Is what I'm worried about. You know, the ferret could get, yeah, balloons do have great range. You could probably hit about here. You know, so ideally the ferrets could come in, stand about right here and start poking the enemy and be protected by the balloon. And yeah, James realizes he doesn't really want the balloon in that spot. And build it a bit more forward. Really, I think where James wanted the balloon would be up here on this high ground, and he did have territory there until Mocha took his second. And once Mocha took his second, he pushed James's territory back a little bit. But I'm hyped. I want to see the ferrets get something done. This is good, you know. This is actually a pretty good spot for James. Look at this. The ferret is nicely protected from the balloon. It's sieging down the second base. And Mocha's just going to give it up. Very smart decision-making there, and not the easiest decision in the world to make. You know, sells the other farms and just says, alright, man, you can have it. But that's not going to be the end of this ferret harassment. And look at this. This gives James that territory on the high ground. I'd love to see him piggyback this balloon up now. Put a balloon up here. Start sieging down with ferrets from there. You know, this ferret is getting something done. 240 food. Paid for themselves and their home. They got their mortgage paid off already. In their 20s. Look at that. Yeah, that's where he wants this balloon. Just piggybacking it up. Meanwhile, what's Mocha thinking? He's going to one base all in, I'd imagine. He's setting up for a base race here. He's got that bill up top. Oh, needs to get these ferrets out. One of them gets out. Good job by Mocha there, knocking one out. He gets the other one out, too, with some good target fire on those falcons. He's going to commit in. This balloon's going to do some great work to the tier 2 here. Overall, decent engagement from Mocha, kind of fighting back. However, I don't think he got enough done. I don't think he got enough done. He didn't deny the second base. He didn't really kill any Warrens. Didn't kill the balloon. I want to see that balloon even further up, man. I want to see that balloon, like, right there. And Mocha is just gonna YOLO, BOLO, all in here. YOLO swaggins, no scope. And it could work. His army on paper is stronger than James. The balloon is going to be a non-issue here. But James is holding on. That was actually huge for James. I'm really surprised that went as well as it did. Those toe connections were pretty good. And now Mocha's in real bad shape. That was definitely an all-in. You know, I think we throw around the term all-in a little bit too loosely in RTS. You know, kind of call attacks you can transition out of. There's no transitioning out of that one. That had to work, and I thought it would work too, to be honest. James must have got some really good toad hits there. Mocha's gonna try one more. His tournament life, well, not tournament life, but the match is on the line here. You can't lose this map, so I don't blame Mocha for hanging out. I think if it was a ladder match, he probably would have tapped out. But cool, I'm glad we got to see this ferret balloon style take a match. Not to be anticlimactic here, but Mocha really needs a miracle. I think you pull the old school gentleman move, you know, and you just build as many lizards as you can at this point and hope you can outmaneuver your opponent. Because there's no way Mocha's winning the straight up fight. There it is. James takes the match. Really cool series there. Alright, we're going to end this on a good one. I saved this one for last. Because Heirloom and Jacoby are really great players. Everyone we've seen today is really great players. But this is the icing on the cake here. Ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, gentlemen thinking Jacoby's going to take it. Now Jacoby, known for his Badger play. Heirloom, known for his mid-game play. Let's see how this one rolls out. On the left, we've got Heirloom. And his opponent to the right, Jacoby. Jacoby, again, he's kind of one of these guys that's got the Holy Grail deck, you know. I feel like what Jacoby's bringing right now is what he wants to play. We might see him, you know, make some flex picks if needed, but I think Jacoby would want to just roll with what he's got every game if there's no reason not to. And Heirloom likes his mid-game, I feel like. And the Wolf is a really cool way to burst that, right? Like, likes the Cams and Falcons. I think the Wolf goes well with the Cam Falcon. I really like this deck. I like both these decks, to be honest. I'm probably going to steal both of these. Like, they're both really cool in their own ways. And another thing, too, is interesting to see Jacoby not really relying on the chameleons as much as we see other players do. Heirloom putting on some aggression. And just going to sell it off. Just kind of shoulder check there kind of move. 8-farm double from both sides. Looks like the 8-farm double's coming back into popularity. We've seen that a lot today. In lieu of like single into tier 2 or fast expand into single. 8-farm double is just about as safe as you can go. Nice safe opening. Yeah, and into some tier 2. Again, pretty standard, straightforward, safe stuff so far. And I'm hungry. I might be lazy today. Order some pizza. Ooh, Jacoby. All right, let's see it, man. This is a fast tier 3. And you know, the skunk is a really interesting part of this because the skunk is just so good on defense. Like, I love trying to figure out fast tier 3 builds like this, and I'm gonna pay attention because Heirloom should get the scout. He hasn't scouted it yet, which is a little unfortunate. Now he's going to see it, because he's not putting the Badger in a crazy spot. He's not putting it down here or something where it's less likely to get scouted, but maybe you sneak the cams over and you kill it. So Heirloom knows what's coming, and what's his response? The correct response is not to attack in, for sure. Like, I think we've kind of figured that out at this point. Some people argue eco up a lot. It probably depends on which tier 3 it is. Something like the Badger, you probably do want to get all these Falcons here. Heirloom trying to sneak his cams in. Oh my god, Jacoby. Jacoby's nearby. Yeah, nice attempt. Jacoby's like, I don't think so, buddy. Yeah, I don't think it's probably not the right idea to try to eco up against the Badger. Plus, look at this map. This map is genuinely awful for Heirloom. I don't say that often, but when you're not given a second base, and I actually talked with Andy a while, I think that was my big contribution to balance, and I know a lot of the higher end players or people in the community weigh in on balance every now and then. That was my one contribution, is I think I convinced them, like, hey, maps should give you a natural, like you should have a second base. But it doesn't happen every single time. Because it just really limits the strategies you can do if you're in a situation like Heirloom is, where you don't really have a second. Jacoby trying to be careful about these mines. Airlu did get a couple nice ones off, and the pigeons certainly are helping. Yeah, that was a really cool way to get out of fast tier 3. I think maybe trying to like eco up against the fox or the owl makes sense. But something like the badger or the boar, like you really just got to get your falcons out ASAP. And here's the big attack. Jacoby trying to throw down some warrens just to spend his money and also provide a little bit of extra tanking. This army from Airlu is dangerous. 6 falcons here can really delete these heavy units very quickly, and Airlu countered this so nicely. Well done. Jacoby knows it's over and taps out. Well done. That was just a very nice if-else kind of game. Game number 2. Spawning in the bottom, we've got Jacoby and his opponent in the top right, Airlu. And again, I think both these players are the Holy Grail kind of players. It's my new term. I'm coining, start using it. It's the Holy Grail deck, right? Like, this is the best deck. This is the deck I'm going to use every game. And the moles here are interesting. I wonder if we'll see the moles come into play. Try to punish fast tier 2. Try to punish fast expansions. Moles are really good at that. Yeah, I kind of agree with gentlemen in the chat. What's up, everybody? By the way, Marmu, Catterjohn, Mumbledore, Ramako. Thanks for the sub, by the way, Ramako. Mishi in the house. Good to see everybody. And you're right, I think Airlu might have Jacoby's number here. Because I think what Airlu's bringing to the table, the Wolf Falcon, Cam can probably go pretty toe-to-toe with this like Falcon Skunk Badger, right? And this is what I was talking about, man, with the moles kind of changing up the way we think about the early game. You know, trying to get these quick expansions or the quick tier 2 can really be punished. And Airlu is very well practiced, knows these kinds of timings very nicely. Misha, you've been killing it in this event, man. Have you been practicing a lot? Like, I feel like you're not. I feel like you're just logging on, right? Doing your matches and just wrecking nerds. Is that the case, or are you actually really preparing? Yeah, I'm only playing tournament games. Yeah, man, I've been basically doing the same thing. I've been trying to ladder a little more because it is really fun. But, you know, tooth to tail, it's like riding a bike, man. It's like riding a bike. I have been getting beat though by players who I feel like have been preparing more than me, which rightfully so. I've seen some really good players, surprisingly. Like Solomon did great. Who else did I play that kind of surprised me? Melvin Fro. Melvin Fro's been playing really well. Pretty greedy game this time around, both players macroing up. This is probably good for Jacoby, right? To make that little nosebleed he got earlier on be less impactful. Yeah, I can really tell the players that are putting the work in, man. Ooh, this is a little bit dangerous. Okay, he didn't rally all the way. I was going to say, if he like rallied all the way and his commander went down and those cams are just walking into their death. Here's the Badger from Jacoby. This time, not a one-base Badger rush, which I try to... Gentleman always tries to talk sense into me that it can't work. And as we saw in the last game, there's a good reason for it. I love these little mines, too, by the way, from Airlu. I'd like to see him maybe up here a little bit more as this game progresses. This map looks nice for Airlu, too. It's got a solid 3 base there, even access to a 4th. Meanwhile, it's okay for Jack. Here's the cam harassment. He's gonna get it for him. Alright, Airlu looking like he wants to move out. Did he scout the Badger is the question. He did. He scouted the double Badger, the Bofa Badger. Lots of mines, lots of moles. Airlu wants it. Doesn't matter. Alright, Airlu moving in. Sorry about that. And gonna hit right before these Badgers are done. What good timing, man. Jeez Louise. Yeah, the Falcon nerf did nothing, man. Falcons are still great units. I don't want to say it did nothing. I'm being a little facetious there. But Falcons are still viable. And, you know, that was really well timed by Airlu, I gotta say. Like, just, if he was 5 or 10 seconds later and Jacoby had those Badgers up, it would have been a totally different story. So Airlu taking a great match there. Okay, let's see it. What was the general predict this time? Did we have a general predict? Airlu 2-3 Jacoby, really? Alright, man. Okay. Alright, let's see if Jacoby can make the comeback happen. Game 3, and this is what happens when you try to find that Holy Grail deck. You know, sometimes your opponent's got your number. But on the left, we've got Jacoby, and on the right, we've got Airlu. But then again, I don't really think this is a case of, like, I don't think Airlu's deck was designed to beat Jacoby. I've seen Airlu play this deck before. I think this is just generally what Airlu likes to bring to the table. I think Airlu's just playing really good tooth and tail. And so is Jacoby, but, you know, the scouting, the decision-making has been really on point for Airlu. And Airlu's one of these guys that's come up in the scene recently and quickly rose to the top. I mean, I don't think he's got a big win yet, right? Like, we thought that he was going to win the previous season of Gentleman's Tournament. Because he, like, really railed his way through the single elim tournament at the end. But Haru ended up taking that. Oh, look at this. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is where the mole shines. You gotta hit these farms while they're building. After they're built, the moles don't really do all that much damage to them. But while they're building, they get that crit. Nice job from Airlu with this mole rush here. All right, man. This is Airlu's doubling down on this. Denies another farm. Did he actually kill? Let me see my instant replay. No, Jacoby did. Jacoby did get the sell. This is annoying. This can tilt you, man. And Jacoby trying to think about where to build these warrens so they don't get sniped by these moles. Really aggressive game here from Airlu. And Airlu just seems like, you know, these past 2 games have been similar things. It's just been Airlu knowing how to deal with the tier 3, right? Game number 1, it was a 1-base tier 3 all-in. Airlu responded correctly with a lot of Falcons. In game 2, we had more of a macro game, but Jacoby went into double Badger, which is a big investment. 720 food wrapped up, right, in those 2 tier 3 units before they hit the field. And Airlu found that perfect timing to come in and deal with it. So if I'm Jacoby, am I a little bit hesitant to really try to get my boar out this time around? Look at all these units. This is what makes moles so deadly. Like, you can just make a whole bunch of units out of nowhere. But Jacoby's got his own moles, and Jacoby knows it's coming. He hasn't scouted the extent of it, but he saw the proxy mole horn. And this is really bad for Jacoby. He's got so much in that second base. If he holds this, he's going to win the game for sure. But I don't think he's going to hold. Like, Airlu realized, all right, man, he's playing super greedy. He went into 3 farms on the second. I'm just going to push out with moles. And my God, I think that's going to be it. There's no way Jacoby can really build any units anymore. He's only got the 1 Warren. Jeez Louise. Airlu crushing it. Really great play. Alright guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much everybody for tuning in. The tournament is rounding up. We're almost out of the rounds part of it, and we're going to go into single limb, round of 8, proper, bracketed tournament for each of the divisions here shortly. Thanks again everybody for tuning in. Thanks to the tournament organizers. Thanks to all the players. Keep sending me replays at ToothAndTailTV at gmail.com, please. We'll get a proper feast going on. Any level of play is perfectly fine. Don't worry, I'm not gonna... I try not to be a jerk to new players. Like, I encourage new players to submit me replays. I promise I'm not gonna make fun of your games or anything like that. Don't send them anything. And we've got Pocket World back in action too. When is Masta's? Well, I got everybody here. When is your stream, Masta? I saw you put out a thing. Stream, Massive advertising my stream. What's going on with that? Crazy, man. I know you did a ping. Which channel is it in? I'm not sure. But check out the Discord, guys. I'm sure Masta will let y'all know. I think he's going to do a thing for the Pocket World coming up. If you're kind of new to the scene, Pocket World is this like little ranked mini game where you choose a faction and you take over the map. We utilized it in the previous Gentleman Tournament and 21 Generals. And yeah, it's really fun. So basically, it's like Risk kinda, where you sign up for a team, and as you win ranked matches, you'll take over territory, and there's a little bit of strategy coming in because you can like sugar bomb and stuff like that. The announcement is going to be so good. Yeah, man. Keep your eyes on the Discord for Master Stealth's announcement. Is it in the announcement channel? Yeah, it is in the announcement channel. Okay. More info to come soon. Alright, guys. Yeah, you can sign up now, by the way. You just type !team and then the color. Like, I'm on Team Red, of course. So. Alright, guys. That's it. You're all a bunch of beautiful nerds. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch y'all next time. Probably next Friday night. That's what I'm thinking. So, see y'all then. Take care, everybody.